Yo, what's up, GG Nation, GG Legion? It's your fella again, Straussman, the GG E3 hype. It begins. It's been happening for months now, actually. And on the channel, you've heard me and Chad and a few others talk on the podcast about E3 hype. So this is going to be E3 hype video. I'm going to keep it relatively short because this is not my E3 prediction show. I will have one. I'm expecting 2 to 3 others on it. At least one other person on it. We're going to do a prediction show. Stay tuned for that. It'll be a little later in the week. But this is just to let you know what I have plans for the channel for E3 coverage. I will be covering every single press conference besides 2. PC. I'm not hating on PC. I love you, PC guys. You guys are great. You guys are incredible. Great community, great crowd. But the show generally is kind of I won't be covering that. And there's one other developer doing a show that's new this year. I forgot who it was, though. Won't be covering them, but I'll be covering all the bigs. I'll be covering the big 3, of course. Sony, Microsoft, Nintendo. Super stoked about their press conference. The podcast, the prediction show, will focus only on those 3. By the way, as well, so stay tuned for that. I will be doing Ubisoft, EA. I think EA kicks it off Saturday. Keep your expectations really low for EA. Last year's show I thought was pretty okay. It was okay, but it had a lot of laughable moments. They had a lot of big celebs and YouTubers there trying to promote their games, and it was really laughable. It was a big-time joke. A lot of memes on the internet, but Chad and I thought it was okay. I thought it was all right. I'm a big EA fan, so I like some of the games. Do I agree with all their policies? No. Single-player games are very important to me. Not very important with EA. That's why they're kind of in bed with Microsoft a lot, as you guys have noticed, for sure. So, their big game this year is supposed to be Anthem. I don't know. It seems like a Destiny clone. I think the Destiny hype and all the Destiny pseudo MMOs, I think it's time to move on from that, to be honest. Personally, I just think there's time to do some other things, do some greater single player stuff. God of War and Sony in general, and even Nintendo have proven single player experiences are still the wave for a lot of gamers. Multiplayer is fantastic as well. I like multiplayer. I'm not hating on that. I know there's a lot of you out there that only strictly like multiplayer. But that is not my jam. My jam has always been single player stuff. I always love, the Personas, the God of Wars, the JRPGs, the Final Fantasies. Stuff that have a long, long amount of hours, but, tell a great story. Last of Us, of course. Very excited about Detroit Become Human. I know it's been out for a couple of weeks now. Want to pick it up soon. But, Anthem, I feel like it's BioWare's last chance because EA, closed down Visceral Studios and the Amy Hennig project she was doing, one of the leads on Uncharted many, many years ago. She was doing a Star Wars single-player game, but they're like, no, we're going to scrap it. They've had a lot of backlash on Battlefront 2. Their microtransactions, that are in love with that way too much. Time to bring it down to reality. We're not all about that. I know they're doing their games to service speech, but expect a lot of that from their press conference. I'll be doing Ubisoft, Square Enix. I'm trying to think what else press conference-wise will be there. I'm doing all of them besides, like I said, a couple. Stay tuned to the prediction show as well. I will also have a video for the anniversary of the channel. Will be 1 year old in 2 days. But expect a lot of greatness for the channel. Stay tuned for that. I'm really excited for the E3 prediction show. I'm going to have a lot of crazy predictions. I'm about to platinum God of War on a side note, which is really fun as well. Been playing a lot of older games on PS4, like Batman Arkham City, Arkham Asylum. I'm going to platinum RE5 and RE6 again because of all these announcements. Big warning, though. I have stopped looking at leaks, and a week ago, I'm not looking at any leaks this week either. I still want to be surprised. I think there's going to be a lot of huge surprises. I know a lot of people overreacted to the Sony news that, oh my god, they're only showing 4 games. Their press conference is going to be terrible. If you really believe that, then you're really silly. You're really silly, I have to say. I mean, that was total overreaction by the internet and Twitter and everybody. They're going to show a lot. Anybody that watched that or listened to that podcast or anybody that, knows Sony, that they're going to bring it. There's going to be a lot of exclusive surprises. Probably a lot of third-party exclusive surprises. A lot of rumors Devil May Cry might be exclusive. I find that hard to believe. I don't think that will be, but Capcom has been buddy-buddy with Sony lately. Microsoft is the only one in my eyes that really needs to, and probably EA. Both of those two companies need to really prove to the gamer. I think a lot. Microsoft has the most to prove in this conference. 2-hour-long conference. That is a long time for a press conference. I don't know what to expect. In reality, I really believed in my heart of hearts that they were going to bring it. But I don't know, looking at their past few press conferences, I don't know what they can bring. Like, what can they really do to really impress? These single-player experiences like God of War and, Last of Us, Sony invested in those. Uncharted, they invested in those studios years ago when a lot of Xbox fans were laughing at the 2014 press conference, like, oh, they have all these dates, but none of these games are coming out. But all these games are coming out. Spider-Man, Detroit Become Human just came out. God of War came out. Uncharted 4, Bloodborne. All these games have been hugely successful. Their third-party exclusives have been hugely successful. Persona 5 got nominated for Game of the Year with heavy hitters. Horizon Zero Dawn did fantastic. That's a first-party exclusive. And I think Microsoft is going to invest in first party for the next generation, like 3 years down the line. I still expect, Gears 5, Halo 6, stuff like that. Nintendo, I expect more greatness from them. They have slowed down a lot sales-wise on the Switch and stuff like that. They haven't had a lot of first-party content besides ports this year. But I think they're going to bring the fire at the end of the year, especially with Smash Bros. That's kind of typical with Nintendo anyway. They have that one big game at the end of the year that kind of keeps them afloat. 2 years ago at their E3, before even the Switch was announced, they had Breath of the Wild. That was the big game. That game stole the show for a lot of people. Last year it was Super Mario Odyssey, and this year is probably going to be, it's obviously Smash Bros. Obviously, Pokemon Let's Go has also been announced, so they got Pokemon and Smash Bros. End of the year. That's going to do really well. If they squeeze Pikmin and, Animal Crossing in there, it's going to be really good. But, again, this is not the prediction show. The prediction show is going to be much down the line. Just telling you what to expect on the channel. Expect a lot of coverage. I will be doing a live reaction on all the press conferences, so stay tuned for that. Stay tuned for the anniversary of the channel as well. And stay tuned for the Predictions Podcast. Make sure you like, comment, subscribe. Follow my Twitch down below. Your fella, Straussman, the GG. He's outie.